Mr. OMTZIGT, your report on mass surveillance is discussed this morning in the Assembly. So could you please remind us what was the main objective of this report on mass surveillance?
Well, the main objective of the report was to look at the mass surveillance that has been uncovered by Mr. Edward Snowden and others, run by the NSA, but also by the British and German governments and possibly by the Russian government, which was included in the statement today. That the secret services were able to eavesdrop on every telephone conversation, on every email, on every SMS that was being sent, which means that there is no privacy anymore and that the state has got too much power in controlling everyone. That can be used as a force to the good, but it can also be abused by a state or abused by a terrorist organization. From that point of view, it was extremely worrying that they were also altering technology, which means that they force technology companies to put backdoors into their systems, and those backdoors can be used by the NSA, which may be using them for counterterrorism, which is good, but can also be used by terrorist organization or by IS or whoever. And that's extremely dangerous in the protection of our human rights and in the protection against terrorism. Furthermore, every research we've seen shows that targeted surveillance is far more effective than general surveillance, because if you survey everybody, you've got no target anymore and you've got way too much data to do research in.
Yeah, and when we look at the voting results, we see that 135 parliamentarians are in favor of the draft recommendation. So what would you like to say about the atmosphere and the reactions of the parliamentarians on your report?
Well, this report, there was a very, very large majority both for the resolution and the recommendation. There is the controversial issue about Mr. Snowden. Is Mr. Snowden a whistleblower or is he a villain? Well, next time we'll have a report on whistleblowing and then we'll also have a discussion on Snowden. But there is a very large consensus amongst parliamentarians that if you're going to use certain methods, you need appropriate controls, and those controls have been lacking. And you do not want secretive courts with secret laws and secret interpretation of laws. It was very clear in the debate, and with very large majorities that was carried. Now they ask two very specific things. The first is the Secretary General is asked to start an Article 52 investigation. That means that he's supposed to write a letter to all 47 member states and ask them how they keep to the European Convention on Human Rights whilst using mass surveillance. It's very important that countries are honest about it. The last time we did this was 10 years ago, Mr. Marty, in his report on renditions and secret CIA flights and prisons. The second thing they asked the Committee of Ministers was to have standards on what you do with your allies. Are you eavesdropping on diplomats or on political opponents? And the answer should be no. So the Committee of Ministers, the 47 Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the Member States of the Council of Europe, should together come up with a proposal.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us, Mr.
Thank you very much.